177. Let's go ahead and jump right into this and get started. Numbers 7 through 10, the directions say to state the order or the dimension of the matrix. So here we go. Remember, the dimension or the order of the matrix is always rows first. So you count the rows first and the columns second. Okay, and this X means by, by. Okay, let's count the rows. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 rows. Let's count the columns. 1, 2, 3. So we have a square matrix. It is a 3 by 3 matrix. 3 by 3. Okay. Number 8. Let's write out the order of this matrix. That's rows by columns. Okay, let's count the rows. Remember, rows go left to right, columns go up and down. Your rows are 1, 2, 3, 4. Your columns would be 1, 2. So the dimensions or the order of this matrix is a 4 by 2. It is a 4 by 2 matrix. Alright, number 9. We have 2 rows. 1, 2. And we have 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 2 by 4 matrix. 2 by 4. Okay. Number 10. Well, we have how many rows? Rows come first. 1, 2, 3. 3 rows. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this matrix is a 3 by 4 matrix. Okay. Now, guys, it's real important you know how to do this. We're going to use this information later, especially when it comes to multiplying matrices. You must be able to find the order or the dimension of a matrix. Alright, numbers 11 through 17, odd. We're going to add or subtract. Before you add or subtract matrices, always make sure they have the same dimensions or the same order. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 2. They must have identical orders in order for you to add them together, and they do. They're both 2 by 2, so we can add them. So our answer would be 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So there we go. If you struggle with your sign numbers, then use a calculator if you have to. Okay? And there we go. Alright. So pretty simple stuff. Moving on to number 12. Before you add or subtract matrices, always check your order first. This is a 3 by 3. 3 rows, 3 columns. And this is a 3 by 3. So are the 2 orders identical? Yes, they are. 3 by 3, 3 by 3. So we can definitely add these 2 matrices together. Let's go slow and take our time. 7 plus 1. Negative 3 plus 0. 2 plus a negative 5. Now if you struggle with that, A, use a calculator, or B, do this. 2 plus a negative 5. When the signs are different, you make it negative, so it's 2 negative 5, which is negative 3. When the signs are different, you make the number negative, and then go ahead and use your rules for combining numbers. You have $2 in your wallet. You owe me $5. You pay off 2, you still owe $3, so negative 3. 0 plus 0. 8 plus 8. 1 plus 7. 8 plus a negative 7. Use a calculator or write it out like this and solve it. 8 plus negative 7 is 1. 6 plus 9 is 15. Negative 6 plus a positive 6 is 0. So there's your answer. Okay. Let me glance in the book real quick and make sure this is correct. Make sure I didn't make a little mistake somewhere. And yes, this is correct. Okay, so adding and subtracting matrices, not difficult stuff at all. Okay, we're going to subtract two matrices. Let's check our dimension. 3 rows, 2 columns. This is a 3 by 2, and this is a 3 by 2. Are the two orders identical? Yes, they are. So we can definitely subtract these. Now for me, once again, this is just how I like to do it. I like to make this positive and go through and change all my signs. To me, that's the best way to do it. You may do it however you want to. Alright, in fact, I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to do it my way, then we'll go back and do it the other way. 0 plus a negative 5. Negative 8 plus a negative 4. Look at it like this. Negative 8 plus a negative 4. This number has a double sign. The signs are different, so it's a negative 4. Bring down your negative 8. You owe me 8, you owe me 4 more, you owe me 12, negative 12. And if you don't like that, use a calculator, no problem. 3 plus a negative 2, 1, 0 plus a negative 5, negative 5, negative 4 plus a positive 7, 3, 2 plus a positive 5, 7. And there's our answer, okay? Now, if you would like to do it the other way, which is where you do not change the signs, absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. You'll get the exact same answer. Just watch your signs, okay? Here we go. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. Negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. 3 minus 2 is 1. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. Negative 4 minus a negative 7 would be negative 4 plus 7. Negative 4 minus a negative 5 is negative 4 plus 5, which would be, sorry about that, students, 2. 2 minus a negative 5 is 2 plus 5, which would be 7, okay? And you get the same answer either way. So whatever is easiest for you, that's what I want you to learn to do, okay? Okay, moving on. Number 17. Now we are not going to be able to subtract these because this has 2 rows and 3 columns, 2 by 3. This has 3 rows and 2 columns. Are the orders or the dimensions identical? Well, of course not. This is a 2 by 3, this is a 3 by 2, not even close. So your answer is cannot be subtracted or cannot be combined or cannot be solved. Whatever you want to put, okay? Undefined, no solution. All of those would be fine, okay? Cannot be done. Alright, moving on to numbers 19 and 21. The directions say to multiply by the scalar that is given. So here we go. We're taking this matrix here and we're multiplying it by a negative 3. So take your negative 3 and multiply it through. Negative 3 times 1. Negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times 6. Negative 3 times 9. Negative 3 times negative 1. Negative 3 times 4. There we go. Okay. So, not too difficult. Just take your negative 3 and multiply it through. And I'm kind of stalling here, checking my answer, making sure I did this correctly. Didn't make a little mistake somewhere, but it looks good. Alright, number 21. Okay, take your 8 and multiply it through. You have a 3 by 2 matrix. 3 rows, 2 columns, a 3 by 2 matrix being multiplied by the scalar, or by the outside number, negative 8. So here we go. Negative 8 times 0 is 0. Negative 8 times 1 half is negative 4. Negative 8 times negative 2, positive 16. Negative 8 times negative 1, positive 8. Negative 8 times 4, negative 32. And negative 8 times 3, negative 24. Now again, some of my problems in my teacher's edition have the answers and some don't. I don't think I have these answers here. Oh, here they are. Okay, let me check this real quick. Make sure we didn't make any mistakes. Let's see. Everything looks good. Okay, so 19 and 21, pretty simple. You're just taking the scalar and multiplying it through. Okay? Alright, now 23 through 27, the directions say to simplify. Now, guys, stop and think. You all see the parentheses right here, do you not? So that means we're going to first subtract these two matrices before we do anything else, okay? So here we go. I'm subtracting two matrices. I'm going to make this a positive and then change all the signs. 4 plus a negative 6. 0 plus 2. Negative 1 plus negative 3. 5 plus negative 4. There we go. So I combined these two matrices down into this. I did those first because they were in parentheses like this. Now bring down your positive sign, and now bring down your next matrix. Here we go. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. 2 plus 5 is 7. Negative 4 plus a negative 1, negative 5. And 1 plus 8 is 9. Let me check the answer in the book to make sure we didn't make a little mistake somewhere. And we are good. Okay, so again, guys, it's simple math. It's so simple. It lends itself to little mistakes. And that's why I keep checking my answers to make sure I'm not making those little mistakes. Okay? But if you'll take your time and go slow, you should be okay with these. Alright, number 25. Here we go. Now notice, look, students, first of all, you have a negative 4. Now I'll be honest with you. Just like if you had negative 4, then parentheses, 2 plus 5. You can first add the 2 and the 5 and have negative 4 times 7. That's the best way to do it, and then multiply. Or you can take the 4 and multiply it through. 4 times 2, negative 8. 4 times 5, negative 20. Combine them, negative 28. Either way, you get the same answer, okay? It's the same thing here with matrices, okay? You are more than welcome to take this negative 4 right here and multiply it through all of the matrices, both matrices, and then subtract the 2. I think that's really not a good idea. I think it's going to lend itself to a lot of mistakes doing all of that multiplying. I would put your negative 4 here, put your matrix here, and now I would take this matrix here minus this matrix here. So after you subtract those two matrices, put your answer right here, and then you take your answer and multiply it by negative 4, because notice there are parentheses right here. Okay? Alright, so with that in mind, here we go. I do not like to subtract matrices, so I'm going to make this positive and change all my signs. And here we go. 5 plus a negative 1. 1 plus a negative 8. Negative 3 plus 2. 4 plus negative 4. 0 plus 6. Negative 1 plus 0. Negative 3 plus negative 3. 9 plus 1. 6 plus negative 5. There you go. And now simply take your negative 4 and multiply it through, and you're finished. Alright? Negative 4 times 4. Negative 4 times negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 1. Negative 4 times 0. Negative 4 times 6. Negative 4 times negative 1. Negative 4 times negative 6. Negative 4 times 10. Negative 4 times 1. And there we go. Okay, let me check this in the book real quick. Looks pretty good so far. And yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, so again, students, really not rocket science. Pretty simple stuff. Just do your order of operations first. Work inside the parentheses. After you get out that matrix, then take this negative 4 and multiply it through the matrix, and you're finished. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, number 27. Alright, now look. That's my advice in case that ever comes up on a problem. Okay, let's take our 2 and multiply it through, okay? I'm not trying to be sloppy or I'm not trying to be lazy, but I think it'd be easier if I just take this positive 2 and multiply it through and cross these numbers off. So 2 times 6 would be 12. 2 times 9 would be 18. 2 times negative 1 would be negative 2. Okay. 2 times negative 4 would be negative 8. 2 times 5 would be a positive 10. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 7 is 14. Alright, so now this 2 is gone. I took it and I multiplied it through. Does everybody see that okay? Now I'm ready to add my 2 matrices together. So here we go. Negative 2 plus 12. 0 plus negative 8. 5 plus 0. 5 plus 18. 1 plus 10. 9 plus 8. 7 plus negative 2. 2 plus 0. Negative 1 plus 14. Then bring down your minus. Okay, so what I did so far is I took this 2, I multiplied it through the parentheses. Then whatever matrix I got out, I then added these 2 together. So now these 2 matrices here have combined to this matrix. Now bring down your negative sign, and then bring down your numbers within this matrix, the elements or the entries. And here we go. You are more than welcome to leave this a negative sign. I'm going to make it positive and change all the signs inside. That's just how I do it. 10 plus a negative 4 would be 6. Negative 8 plus negative 6. 5 plus a negative 3. 23 plus 1. 11 plus negative 0, or just 0. 17 plus negative 2. 5 plus negative 5. 2 plus negative 9. 13 plus a negative 1. Now, unless I've made a little mistake somewhere, this should be the right answer, okay? Let me check the answer key real quick here. For number 27, we might not have it here. Let me see if we do. Here it is. And actually it is correct. I thought maybe we'd make a little mistake somewhere. These problems are really easy to make a little mistake on. Okay guys, so we're doing pretty well so far. Now, number 29. We didn't have any of these in your notes, but this is still good practice for you. Now, in 29 in 29, they want us to solve for x. Okay, solve for x. Now be really careful here and think this through. Okay, can I show you something here, please, students? Think about this. Watch this carefully. Are you ready? We know if I subtract these 2 matrices here, it's going to equal this, right? Let me say that again. If we subtract these 2 matrices, it's going to equal this. For example, watch this. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Watch this now. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 and 10. 8 minus 10 is negative 2. So students, think about it. Negative 5 minus negative 4x equals what? 19. Students, I've got an equation right there. Look at it again. Just like I can say this, I can say 8 minus 10 is negative 2. I can say negative 5 minus what? Negative 5 minus negative 4x equals negative 5 minus 4x equals what? 19. Look at that, I've got a simple linear equation. Step 1, simplify both sides. You cannot simplify the right side, but you can simplify the left side. We have a 4x that has two signs, a negative and a negative. Whenever a term has two sides and they're the same, we make it positive, so negative 5, positive 4x. Okay, next we're going to get x by itself. We take this negative 5, bring it over, make it a positive 5. So you're left with 4x equals 24. Now divide both sides by 4 and x equals 6. Now that is the correct answer, but you could check it if you wanted to. Put a 6 right here for x. What's negative 4 times 6? Negative 24. So let's see if this works. Negative 5 minus a negative 24 equals 19. Negative 5 minus a negative 24 equals 19. Well, sure, that works. Negative is positive. And negative 5 and positive 24 is 19. So you can definitely check your answers on these, okay? So the answer is 6. X equals 6. Back it up and watch again if you need to, students, okay? Alright, number 31. Now this looks really complicated, but guys, I just showed you in the last problem. Just think about it. 3 minus 8 equals negative 5. I mean, we can set this up, look. 2x plus what? Negative 4y. Plus what? 2x plus negative 4y plus what? 2z equals what? 2. Now let's fix this real quick. A positive negative 4y makes it a negative 4y. Alright? So let's get rid of some of this and just make it a negative 4y. Alright, now moving on. If we say 0 plus 3y, 0 plus 3y plus 6c equals what? 0. Now, do we really need this 0 here? No, 0 plus anything is just itself. So 0 plus 3y is just 3y. Now, take the last row. 0 plus c equals negative 1. So 0 plus c equals negative 1. Well, we don't need these two zeros here. 0 plus 0 is 0 plus c is z. Look what you have, students. You have a 3-variable linear system. A 3-variable linear system. Okay? This is not difficult to solve at all. We know what z equals. Z equals what? Negative 1, so put that up here. Z equals negative 1, okay? So, if z equals negative 1, now come down here for z and put negative 1. So 3y plus 6 times negative 1 equals 0. 3y negative 6 equals 0. Bring your 6 over and make it positive. 3y equals 6. Divide both sides by 3, y equals 2. So now we know two answers. Okay? Now, lastly, if I know what z equals and y equals, let's go to your top equation. And where the x is, I will put nothing. The negative 4 where my y is, I will substitute 2. Then bring down my positive 2. And then where the z is, substitute negative 1. So we have 2x, and then negative times the positive is negative. Positive times the negative is negative. Now simplify your left side. 2x, negative 10 equals 2. Because negative 8, negative 2 is negative 10. Now bring your negative 10 over and make it a positive 10. So we're left with 2x equals 12. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 6. Alright, x equals 6. So the proper way to write your answer would be 6, comma 2, comma negative 1. Okay, and I hope that's correct. Alright, okay students, that's that's it. I hope this homework help video has been a help to you.